Om Kayena vacha manasyendrayirva Bhutyatmanava prakriti swabhava Karomi adyat sakalam paresma Narayana samarpayami Narayana samarpayami.
Dear Seeker of Truth, welcome. This is a very auspicious moment. We are going to talk about Bhakti. Bhakti, divine love. So we are going to talk about Bhakti as the essence of all spiritual paths, as the soul of all spiritual paths, and also as a path in itself, Bhakti Yoga. So this is a work made by sage Shandilya, the Shandilya Bhakti Sutras. Not much is known about this Shandilya, only that he was a sage, a God-realized being that gone through many other philosophies and finally got to the nectar-like Bhakti as the soul of it all. So Sage Shandilya had a very intellectual approach also. He was concerned about getting from the different authorities, the different scriptures, the validity, the importance of bhakti as a spiritual path. So he gathered that all and shared it. So may you all find divine love in your hearts. May you all be blessed by this auspiciousness. May you all find God. Moving on, Shandilya Bhakti Sutras, Sutra 45. So we have seen the signs of purity of devotion. Now let's see the signs that reveal impurity of devotion, that devotion is not pure. So Sutra 45. Whereas hatred, jealousy, malice, etc. are not the signs of devotion. So if you find these kinds of emotions in yourself, hate, jealousy, malice, these are not the signs of devotion. These are impurities. Means that if there's devotion, it is impure devotion. And these aggression also, all this line of emotions, this hardens the heart, it counters devotion. Because devotion is about a soft heart, and this hardens the heart. And these are the signs that no purity yet. In the epic of Mahabharata, Anushasan said, "Neither anger, nor envy, nor greed, nor jealousy, nor impure thought of any kind can dwell in the heart of those who are devoted to the Supreme Being." So those who are devoted to the Supreme Being, who have achieved God communion, who have achieved purity of devotion, neither anger cannot be there, because this is a sign of impurity of devotion. Neither envy, this is also very bad. These are all very bad. Nor greed is so much. Nor jealousy, nor impure thought of any kind. So if you're observing these things in yourself, you must strive for purity. Strive for purity. We'll reach there. In Charitmanas, Lord Shiva tells goddess Uma, "Listen, Uma, those who love to worship and are always devoted to the holy feet of Lord Ram are free from desires and passions, Kam. Hypocrisy, ego, and arrogance, Mada, as well as anger, malice, and hatred, Krodha. They see their beloved Lord everywhere." So as long as these things are there, I will repeat it again. Desires, passions, hypocrisy, ego, and arrogance, as well as anger, malice, and hatred, thinking bad about others, malice, seeing bad in things, malice, and hatred, krodh, anger. All these things are impurities, high-level impurities that counter devotion. So, the holy divine name is the biggest blessing God has given to man. It is the embodiment of God Himself. And if respected the way it should, without offenses, with love, we will go to the offenses later. It cleans all sins, washes away all impurities by the repetition. And the best part is that you can do it all the time, everywhere. No formalities are needed. Just devotion, intense devotion and surrender and respect for it. But in everywhere you are, whatever you are doing, you can chant the divine name and release yourself from all these impurities and sins. A true devotee of the Lord sees his beloved everywhere. So even when someone shows lack of respect or courtesy to him, he still treats them with full respect because he knows that the other person is an image of the Lord. And probably it is the Lord who is testing his sincerity and faith in God, his depth of devotion for God, and the presence of good virtues such as equanimity, tolerance, fortitude, renunciation, and calmness of mind that are expected in a devotee of the Lord. By employing these means to see how he reacts in the face of disrespect shown by others. God tests a devotee in many ways to see how pure is his devotion, and also to give an opportunity when the devotion is still not pure, that the devotee can see it and work it. Sutra 46. That devotion, even when directed towards the other incarnations of God, Vishnu, is also recognized as genuine. So this is important. So that devotion that is directed to God's incarnations is the same. It is genuine. It is the same that directed towards God, the Supreme Being, that transcendental state, the God of creation. So even the incarnations are the same. And in Bhagavad Gita it says, whatever form anyone devoted wishes to worship with faith, to him I make that very faith unwavering. So again, whatever form anyone devoted to God wishes to worship him with faith, the Supreme Being, then God makes that faith unwavering. Sutra 47. Through the revealed Shruti, the scriptures, it is known that one goes beyond the life of transmigration when one realizes the mystery of the birth and actions or pastimes of God. Because that's very, 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 very mysterious. So only the one who can move beyond the cycle of transmigration can see this, can realize these mysteries, even by blessing of God. So God says, neither gods nor the great sages know the secret of my birth and the Leela that I may enact during my descent in human form. So not even they know. I manifest my eternal beautiful form on the mundane plane through my Yogamaya, through his power. But the sages and the gods, including Brahma, failed to conceive my transcendental, inconceivable form by their empirical knowledge. So even with their knowledge, they cannot conceive, they cannot know where he is. Why is he there? What is he going to do? They cannot conceive it. These high beings like Brahma, the creator of the worlds. Without single-minded devotion to me, I am unknowable, and without bestowing by me the vision to know me, nobody knows about the virtue of my manifestation. It is God that grants the vision. And there's many stories when God has incarnated and the other gods were very proudful of their positions, and he taught them a lesson of humbleness. And they understood that. They thought they were very powerful, but their God was, and they didn't know, they couldn't conceive it, and then were humbled from their position. There's beautiful stories like this, like stories of Indra and Krishna, and Brahma also with Krishna, when Krishna was incarnated, and Indra wanted to have all the attention to himself from everywhere in the world, and Krishna made the inhabitants of Vrindavan to worship the mountain instead of him. It's a long, beautiful story, but eventually Indra got humbled down and understood that his powers, no matter how powerful he was, God was the source of his power. And also with Brahma, these are very beautiful stories that if you look for them, your heart will be delighted by them. So those who have made themselves free from worldly attachments, fear, anger, malice, and taken shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord, entirely relying on God's sayings, go beyond the sway of Maya. So these are the ones that go beyond the sway of Maya. It is said in the Ramcharitmanas, the Supreme Lord reveals himself at any place if the devotee has sufficient devotion and love for him and wishes to see the Lord personally. So this is God's Dharma. Whenever there is a devotee with a devotion pure enough, strong, unwavering, exclusive, he forces the Lord to come down by the purity of his devotion. So if you want to contemplate on the Lord, make your devotion pure. If that is not happening, if you're not realizing your desire, it means your devotion is not pure enough. Further, in the Ramcharitmanas, whenever sins or evil qualities become dominant, Unrighteousness and good virtues are on the verge of extinction. The Lord God manifests himself at such times to restore balance in favor of the goodness and to put things in order in a general way. So whenever things go sideways, whenever bad, hatred, malice, violence takes care of the world, then the world manifests himself personally amongst human beings to put things in its right place. There's many stories about such descents in many cultures, There's many phenomena, but we are talking about the Lord's descents, exclusive this topic. So when unrighteousness rules, God descends to put things in its place. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, O Arjuna, wherever righteousness is on decline and unrighteousness is on the increase, I assume a physical body for the protection of goodness and elimination of evil, and to establish Dharma on a strong footing. In this way, I am born in different eras of the celestial cycle of birth and death. And also in Srimad Bhagavad Mahapurana, the Lord descends for bestowing the boon of final beatitude on human beings. He descends personally for that. Out of his infinite merciful nature, he does so to show grace upon his devotees, to grace them with his presence. This is why the Lord comes to live with all of you. So that his devotees can remember his divine life and its glories in order to find freedom from the humdrum affairs of life in this gross mundane world. So not only he comes to be personally with his devotees, to grace them by his presence, to show them the path of Dharma, to guide them there, to help them to move away from their ignorance, and also to leave those stories in their memories, in the books, whatever, or oral traditions, so that those stories, which are still God's manifestation, can be a way of devotees to find their way towards Him again, countless in all ages. Sutra 48. His descents, births and actions are transcendental, divine, because they are operated by his own essential potency, Yogamaya. So his birth is not due to karma or sins or whatever, and he is not really touched by illusion. It is through his Yogamaya. But the story that he undergoes, that depends on what he wants to give to devotees according to the times that he descends. The Lord has revealed himself by his own wish, and it is his own cosmic power known as Maya, the power that causes delusions, that creates an illusion of his being an ordinary person, doing ordinary deeds like any ordinary living being. So it is through his power that he is seen this way, like an ordinary person doing ordinary deeds. Then the Lord wishes to keep his identity secret. He wishes that only a selected few get to know who he actually is. So he uses the powers of Maya to hide his divinity and cosmic form. Even if he announces it to the world, it will be not conceivable for the majority, only through purity, and the selected few, either through purity or karma or whatever God deems it necessary, sometimes even to give examples to the world how an ordinary being can achieve the highest. An ordinary being, and even someone who has been in the lowest part of existence. There are many of these examples. A wise and enlightened devotee understands this. That is why he does not doubt the Lord's divinity, and hence he does not get confused by the Lord's ordinary behavior in this world. He relies on the words of the scriptures that tell him to be careful, not to be deluded by the Lord's seemingly ordinary looking like life in this world. Because the Lord is simply following the rules of nature ordained by himself. When he behaves in an ordinary way, the Lord doesn't want to break his own laws by acting superhumanly if he had chosen to assume the form of a human being. So when God assumes the form of a human being, he respects the laws of nature that are dictated by him. So this is why he behaves ordinarily, doesn't behave like a superhuman. And also because Lord wants to be found by the real devotees also. The others can get the inspiration of his stories when he goes, the ones who are there already, and he will leave for them inspiration, but he wants only the pure ones to find them. It's not for everybody. That probably will confuse, but no problem. Meditating on the Lord's names clears all confusions. Sutra 49. The principal cause for his advent on earth is indeed his compassion. And why compassion? Because even at the highest of the highest, the world cannot have the merit to receive God's presence. So it is by his compassion only, especially when things are very bad, that he comes down to inspire and to correct things. So it is by his compassion. The main reason why the Supreme Lord takes birth in this world to live amongst ordinary creatures is his extreme gracious, benevolent, and compassionate nature that obliges him to bless the world and its inhabitants whenever they require his presence. So the Lord comes down to personally live with them and to provide them with an opportunity to be close to him during his manifestation. If they can take it or not, that is an entirely different subject. For other generations that follow, the Lord provides a means by which they can have an easy access to him by remembering his glorious life and deeds. So he leaves a story behind to be told by generations and generations. So these verses answers the question, why does the Lord takes birth and engage himself in activities though he has no need for them? For compassion. He does it to bless his devotees and give them a chance to attain liberation and deliverance from this world of grossness and mundanity by simple method of remembering the Lord's divine life and the glories associated with it. Many practices are very difficult, but remember God's lives, God's sports, this is easier and it is transcendental in nature. Okay.
Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva tvameva bandhushka sakha tvameva tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva tvameva sarvam mama deva deva Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva.